In this screencast, I'm going to go over some of the different features of the interactive learning website Kahoot and how it aligns with the Universal Design for Learning guidelines. Kahoot is an interactive website that allows teachers to ask questions in the form of a quiz, a jumble, a discussion, or a survey. And the students can enter their answers using their own devices. It makes learning not only interactive, but fun for the students because it creates a game-like atmosphere. Kahoot's multimedia capabilities can help students who have a variety of learning styles and is very user-friendly. It makes learning accessible to many students as well with learning disabilities. I'm going to go through the 3 principles and their 9 guidelines during this tutorial to outline how Kahoot aligns with UDL. If this is the teacher's version, they are going to log onto My Kahoots, and they will find the Kahoot that they want to play and click play. When you hit play, you get to decide whether you're going to do the classic version or the team mode. The classic version lets students play individually from their devices, and the team mode has students working in teams. For this instance, we are going to do classic. The Kahoot will then generate a game pin, outlined here, and the students will have to log on to kahoot.it and enter the game pin in here. The teacher's version will be projected either using a smartboard, a projector, or some other interactive tool so that every student can see the screen. Once the teacher begins the activity, the questions appear on the board in the front of the class, and the students then answer the question using their devices that are linked to the teacher's account. Switching gears over to the Universal Design for Learning, here's an outline of UDL's 3 main principles and their 9 guidelines. The first principle is provide multiple means of representation, and this is in regards to perception, language, expression, and symbols, and comprehension. The second main principle is provide multiple means of action and expression in regards to physical action, expression and communication, and executive function. And the third principle is provide multiple means for engagement in regards to recruiting interest, sustaining effort and persistence, and self-regulation. First, we're going to talk about the first principle, provide multiple means of representation. In regards to Guideline 1, perception, Kahoot allows for a visual display of questions, the quiz, discussion, or survey. It can be used for students with visual difficulties. It also displays different colors, red, blue, green, and yellow, along with shapes, triangles, diamonds, squares, and circles, coordinated with each answer. Videos and photos can also be used during a quiz or discussion. Guideline 2 is all about language, expression, and symbols. Kahoot can be used as a tool to help pre-teach vocabulary without having a consequence on the student's grade. Teachers can also use it to help students learn how to decode and read symbols like graphs and charts. And as I mentioned before, the questions are also represented in different colors and shapes and symbols to give immediate feedback to the students on how they did. The third guideline refers to comprehension. You can use the discussion tool to create a discussion question and then have all the students who answered each specific answer form groups to discuss. Here is an example of a question about eugenics in biology asking, do you think people should be able to create designer babies? This is an open-ended question that allows for a great discussion in the class and for the students to have and express their own opinions. The discussion tool can also be used to activate background knowledge or review and practice. The second UDL principle is to provide multiple means of action and expression. The fourth guideline refers to physical action. Kahoot is useful for students who can't quite express themselves orally or in written form. They just have to click one button or have a teammate, if it's a team activity, click a button and their answer is recorded. Guideline 5 refers to expression and communication. Kahoot uses interactive web tools so the students can answer questions on their own device and in their own time. It allows students to come to the answer by any means or pathway they want, and all they have to do is click the answer. The one downside to Kahoot, in terms of expression and communication, is that it only allows the students to answer based on one of 4 options. The teacher can remedy this, though, by using this to spark a discussion to further delve into a topic. Guideline 6 refers to executive function. Kahoot provides question prompts that the teacher can add photos to, for example, right here of the DNA being unzipped, or they can narrate over to clarify the questions. The teacher could also verbally set specific goals for the students before or during the actual Kahoot. Because there is immediate feedback, as is represented in this graphic right here, the students already can see how their progress is going. The teacher could further their reflection by having them write out the questions they got wrong and state why the correct answer is what it is. The third and final UDL principle discusses providing multiple means for engagement. In regards to Guideline 7, recruiting interest, Kahoot optimized individual choice and autonomy. It can minimize threats if you don't choose to show what each student's answer was by turning off the podium option. That way, they can self-check their own answer on their computer because it will still show whether or not they got it wrong, but it won't project their name onto the board and show that they got the question wrong to the entire class. One downside to Kahoot is that it can be competitive and students may shy away from answering when their individual answers are displayed. The 8th guideline is sustaining effort and persistence. The goal of Kahoot is for students to get the right answer. It also fosters collaboration if you choose to make it a team activity. Feedback is quick and on the spot so students can correct themselves immediately. This photo represents what can be seen projected from the teacher's screen so that everyone can see how many students got each question correct and what the correct answer actually is. This screen represents the student's device and gives immediate feedback to the student on whether or not they got it correct. The last and final guideline of UDL is self-regulation. The competitive nature of Kahoot can optimize motivation for students. The teacher can facilitate self-regulation by helping students manage frustration and use Kahoot activities to help them improve in areas that they are struggling in. This comes in handy because Kahoot isn't a graded assignment and can be utilized as more of a fun game or competitive outlet for the students. Because of the immediate feedback, students should be able to self-assess and reflect on their answers. They can also see where they are in regards to the rest of their classmates, as well as in regards to the learning objectives. Kahoot can be used in many ways. Some suggestions include 1. Using it as a review game before a test or a quiz. You can put students into teams and create a fun, interactive game out of it, along with helping them to study. A second option is that you could use the discussion option to pose a discussion question that allows for students to express their opinions. You could then use the students' answers to group them for a discussion. For example, you could create a question that says, "What is your favorite subject in school?" Based on the students' answers, you could have them get into groups with other students who felt the same way and create an argument for why the subject they chose is truly the best. A third option could be to have students actually take a quiz using Kahoot, and this could be beneficial to all students, including those with learning disabilities. You can post the quiz questions, give immediate feedback as to what the answers are without revealing what each individual student said, and then you can record each student's answers so you can give them a physical grade for the assignment.